The Washington Capitals have signed pending free agent forward Carl Hagelin to a 4-year extension. We'll discuss the details of the contract and how this affects their salary cap situation coming up next. Welcome back to Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We review and discuss all 31 NHL teams, so if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. So earlier this weekend, we saw the Capitals hook up with a trade with the Philadelphia Flyers, swapping defenseman Matt Niskanen for defenseman Radko Gudas. Now, of course, the Flyers also retained part of Gudas' contract, so the Washington Capitals freed up a fair bit of salary cap space with that transaction. Most people speculate that the fact that they were shedding some salary obviously is going to help them try to retain some of their other pending RFAs and UFAs. Now, besides Carl Hagelin here, they do have some other players to re-sign, but it certainly did go a long way to helping them get this deal done. So Carl Hagelin signs for 4 years and $11 million with a $2.75 million cap hit. So overall, I think that's a pretty fair contract for what Hagelin can bring. He can be a pretty decent bottom six forward, brings a lot of speed, can play in the PK. He's very familiar with that Metropolitan Division. Obviously, he's bounced around a fair bit here in the last few years. If you take a look at some of his career statistics here, and I'll put up on the screen. Of course, he spent time with the New York Rangers at the beginning of his career. Found himself heading out to the West Coast to the Anaheim Ducks, where things didn't really work out. But then he bounced back over to the Pittsburgh Penguins, where of course he played some big roles there in their back-to-back Cup championships. Last year, however, he found himself traded again out to the LA Kings, and once again, California didn't work out for Hagelin, so then he was traded back where he ended the season with the Washington Capitals and seemed to fit in pretty well there. So obviously he spent a big chunk of that time, like I said, in the Metro Division, very familiar with all those teams, and the Capitals were certainly eager to retain him. There was some talk that some of the other Metro Division teams very well might be interested in Hagelin should he hit the open market here, but overall I think this is a pretty good signing for the Capitals. Taking a quick look here at some of the other contracts that they have to settle here, they have $10 million in cap space, but they still have a fair bit of UFA and RFA contracts to look after. From the UFA standpoint, they still have Devontae Smith-Pelly and Brett Connolly. I think they'll more likely let DSP walk here, but Brett Connolly, I think it's somebody they would be interested in retaining for the right price, but due to the fact that he's really, really enhanced his statistics over the past few years, he might price himself out of Washington. That's certainly going to remain to be seen here. We'll see, but I do think the Caps would be interested in retaining him if they can work out a fair contract. On the RFA side, though, they have Andrei Burakovsky, Dmitry Yaskin, Yakov Vrana, Chandler Stevenson, as well as defenseman Christian Djoos. A lot of guys that need new contract, and they only have $10 million here. So to be honest, I don't think this Niskanen for Gudas trade is the only deal we're going to see the Capitals do that involves shedding some salary. If you missed our video discussing the Washington Capitals offseason plan report, I did discuss in that video the fact that I wouldn't be surprised to see a bigger move come out of Washington to try to trim down their salary cap amount here. Obviously, we're still waiting to get confirmation on the new salary cap amount heading into next year. I've seen some talk recently that it might end up being a little bit less than originally thought. Many have been pegged it to be around $83 million, but it very well could end up being somewhere around 82, 82.5, and that little bit might make a big difference for a lot of teams here. So wouldn't be surprising to see the Capitals make maybe one more trade in an effort to shed some more salary to retain some of these players, or maybe some of these RFA players who need new deals could be the ones to be traded themselves. But I do expect them to be a little bit active. I don't think they're going to be super active making all kinds of changes, but I would expect at least a few more subtle changes with the possibility of maybe one bigger contract heading out here. So let me know what you think of the Carl Hagelin signing, and let me know what you think of any other potential deals that we'll likely see here from the Capitals as we approach the NHL draft and free agency later this month. If you're new to the channel, I hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams, and there's plenty of content here for all hockey fans to enjoy. So subscribe for more content just like this one. There's going to be all kinds of NHL free agent and trade activity in the next few weeks. So stay tuned to Top Shelf Hockey. I'll keep you up to date on all the latest news. Thank you for watching. I will catch you next time.